Hello there, and welcome back to Ears to the East, where we're going to do something a little bit slightly different today, something new, and I'm quite excited about this, which is we decided to do kind of almost like a book club type thing, but a music club, basically a music digest. We're going to come together maybe once a week and bring forth songs that the three of us have just heard during the week that we wanted to discuss. It can be songs we really liked. It could be songs that we thought were a bit weird and wanted to get the others' opinions on. It could be a song that we thought was maybe a disappointment. It could be anything. But this is an idea that we were originally going to do a few weeks ago, but just a few things happened and there's been a bit delayed getting started. We're finally getting started. We've got our three songs together. And I want to start with Benedict's for a reason, Benedict, because
Okay.
you've upset me, Benedict.
Yes.
You've disappointed me, Benedict. When we originally came up with this concept, I put forward a song from the new Trident album. And Ben was like, no, we can't do that because I need time to do my reaction video. So
Because I
we
hadn't
waited.
heard it yet.
No,
Yes.
I get it. We didn't do it. And then the next week came around. And it was like, Ben was like, oh no, I'm ill. I can't do this week's one. So we put it off again. And then we come back this week and he's like, don't worry, I picked my song off the new Trident album. Shit. I'm not going to complain though. I'm really happy with your choice.
I actually did that with the intention because I was thinking like Howard will still do Kick-Ass and then we can just talk about Dream Up. That was my plan.
Yeah, but that's not fair on Neon. It's just Neon's the only person who didn't pick a song.
I rushed to get a reaction out to Howard's request because I haven't heard the Trident album, and because I've been sick as a dog this week, I'm like only just got out of bed like an hour before we recorded this. I didn't have time to do a reaction. I literally didn't have the energy to do Benedict's request, so I was just like, I'm not doing a reaction to this one. I'm just gonna listen to it.
I think as well, it set a bit of a weird precedent if the very first week that we did this, hey, let's do a music digest. Just two of us came with songs from the same mini album. But anyway, no, look, doesn't matter. I've talked
Would be popular with Trident
we did
fans.
a review of it anyway. We've all done our reviews of Kick-Ass, so that's fine. It's a great song. Let's start, if you don't mind. Let's start with Twinkle, which I'm really excited to talk about. So, but first of all, let's get Benedict in this because you picked this song, and I'm really interested to know what you thought about this, why you picked it. Lead us in.
Well, I would say it is my favorite song of the EP or album, mini album, I think it's called. But a big reason for that is that it is so unusual and kind of weird in a way. And I just love that. I mean, just the fact that the theme of it is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, but it's basically, yeah, a really heavy and chaotic song in ways, and not at all like a calming, like child's song. So that was a really interesting thing about the song. And yeah, also I just love the production on it. It sounds really, I would say it's the most synthy sounding song on the whole EP or mini album.
Call it whatever the fuck you want. They're both the same in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, but I really like the production on it. There's a lot of, I mean, in the whole mini album, but a lot of little details, and it doesn't sound as synth rocky as a lot of other groups like Passcode or something. I'm still have the feeling that I'm listening to a rock group very much and not like a synth-based group, even though it's pretty strong, and especially in the song. But what I actually kind of wanted to ask you guys, would you consider this song still a metal song, or would you say it's more a rock?
I'm gonna let Neil go first on that.
Yeah,
Kind of struggling.
I'd lean towards sort of like a power metal. And the reason why I want to say this is like, I love how you say it's not calming to a child. It's definitely calming to a child with ADHD. You know, it's totally something I would play to my kids. But it's the last bit of the song, the last like 2 minutes of it, where it's like going full throttle with all the synths or something like, and as well as the guitars going. It reminded me something like purely from like Dragon Force. Like it really sounded like that to me. That last little bit just had that full flow of like momentum going, and everything's going off, and I really enjoyed it. And when I listened to it for the first time, that's instantly my thought. I was like, this kind of sounds like Dragon Force. A little bit, not I wouldn't say Dragon Force earlier stuff, more their latest stuff, I think. But yeah, I was kind of like, yeah, well, I really like this. I like it a lot, actually. The beginning of that song as well, with the little Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, it's so good. I can vibe off that before the song kicks in. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I probably say it's probably my my favorite of the 3 picks for this week.
I would say the all right. First of all, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the YouTuber thing because Neon's taught me well. If you want to check out my full opinions, feel free to check out my full review of the mini album Dream Up on the Baka broadcast. Anyway, moving on.
On my channel, React to Ma.
You had your chance. So check out all of our reviews. But yeah, with this song, I was kind of my feeling going into the whole Dream Up EP is that they just come off of this massive thing with DX was such a big release for them. And of course, Spoopy was the one that really opened them up to an overseas audience. And for me, what was interesting is that the production on this song, the only Trident song which has similar production prior to this was Spoopy. So for me, this felt like they were capturing the Spoopy sound again. But fundamentally, the song was very different. Like this was like a happy-go-lucky Spoopy. Whereas Spoopy was quite semi-dark, tongue-in-cheek. This was quite positive. So when you ask, is it metal or not? I don't know. I mean, you can have happy metal, but for me, I wouldn't even think about it. For me, it's almost more like loud pop rock. It feels like a pop rock song turned up to 11 to me. It has a catchy chorus like a pop rock song. Yeah, it just for me it feels like pop rock for people who want to break their neck. Yeah, I really like this song. I think it's like you say, probably I'm going to shock you by agreeing with you here. Probably my favorite song on the entire mini album EP. Benedict, that just happened. That just happened.
I'm surprised.
We agreed
but
on
then
the song.
why did you choose Kick-Ass last time and not Twinkle?
Yeah,
because when I picked Kick-Ass, it hadn't come out. That's how long ago we've been trying to do this.
I see.
Hadn't come out at the moment when I picked
see the issue.
Yeah, Benedict. How that?
Yeah, Benedict. Real fans.
What?
He was just delaying so he could come out with all the Trident stuff. That's what it was.
Yeah, I was about to say, if this had come out at the time, I probably would have pivoted towards this song because very interesting. But yeah, for me, I'd be interested because I do wonder whether the song was written without any consideration of the production, and the production was just something where they talked to the producer and they were, this would really work well. And they did it afterwards because someone was like, hey, do you know what? We could do this in a spoopy-like way. And they went, hey, that'd be really cool. Or whether they had the production in mind. I don't really know on that. Either way, I mean, I think it's a great fit either way. I agree, the production suits really well, considering it's a very different song from Spoopy. I guess my question, I think this is a great single, but I think the reason why Spoopy did so well isn't just the fact the production works so well. I think it appealed to the heavy fans outside of Japan. And I don't think this song will appeal to as heavy a set of. I think the metalers who really like Spoopy will like this, but not as much. So I think they've captured what makes the song great, but maybe not what made it so transmissible to a Western audience. I'd love to know what you think about that.
I think I agree with that.
It's got more of a cyber feel.
But I mean, it isn't a single. They didn't make it a single, so they probably know that's how it's gonna be. That's why they chose Kick-Ass.
I was really weirded out actually. If you go on Spotify, apparently Twinkle is the single. Like they did.
It
they
doesn't
did
have
the
a music
videos
video, right?
I know they did video for Kick-Ass, Near Future, and Repaint, but apparently Twinkle is the one releases a single. I don't know how that works, peeps. That's the thing that's come about in recent years, and I don't understand why.
Maybe it's a Japanese exclusive single.
Perhaps, yeah. But anyway, I agree with you. If you don't make a music video for it, is it really a single? But I'm pretty sure there's going to be a music video for this song. I would be shocked if there's not. I'd be very shocked if there's not. What do you think, Neil?
I think there could be. To be honest, I'm getting kind of surprised by the lack of music videos actually by a lot of bands recently. So I can never say that I could put anything on there.
Any examples?
Nemophila being one of them. They just released a new album. No music video. They released like live music videos, but I don't know about you guys, but I don't really count them as like actual music videos. Like I don't know what happened to just like actual music videos, but I don't like it when a band comes out and just does like a live version with like official audio just layered over. I find that very, very.
To be fair, doing a music video is not exactly cheap, so
Yeah, true. I suppose so, but I don't know. It's just a little
I
bit.
might
It doesn't have to be expensive. Just go and stand in a field with some lights in the dark.
Yeah, but you
You
don't,
know.
you don't want to do some half-assed stuff.
Yeah, I suppose. Well,
I
you
agree with
can't
both
get
of
more
you there.
half-assed than a live performance video, though.
Than standing in a
Uh,
field, I thought.
I agree with Benedict that you want to keep your quality level high, but I agree that with Neon as a fan, you don't care. You just want to see the band doing something, you're creating something. You
Yeah,
want to see that
sure.
creative stuff. So I kind of agree with both. And the live videos as well, they're great. I mean, I felt this way about Baby Metal for the longest time. I was like, why do you keep on doing these like semi-live videos like Shanty Shanty and stuff like that? It's like, come on, just do a real video. And then when Meth Alley came out, I was like, that was worth the wait. But yeah,
Now
I
we wait
see.
another 8 years.
If I'm right, so is Evolve is the new? Is it Evolve the new Nemophila album? I keep forgetting. Anyway,
I think
I
it's called
I think
Evolve, yeah.
I think some of the songs, if I'm right, some of the songs are like reissues. I don't think it's 100% original material, is it? There's a lot of it's reissues of older songs. I might
Like
be wrong on that. I've had this problem with Nemophila before. They do occasionally take old songs and release them.
I haven't heard the album yet, only the
I haven't
single.
heard the album
Okay,
yet as well. I've been meaning
fair
to get
enough.
onto it, but like I said, I've been ill as a dog for the past like 3 days.
I mean,
So
we can check the song list.
Yeah, I mean that's what I gathered. I have been caught out before by Nemophila fans pointing out that I thought a song was new when it actually
Yeah,
wasn't. So
Rise is on there. Um, Enigma is the new single, right?
I tell you what, get in the comments and tell us, guys, if you know that. That might just be my brain having a little twitch out, or it might be
that might
right on.
explain why they don't do music videos then, or
Otherwise,
music videos to the
doesn't
new
look
album.
like a lot of. At least I cannot tell.
All
Yeah,
right,
because
shall we bring in Neon's pick next then? Neon's song pick.
yeah, go on. I went something drastically, sorry, different than mine. Struggling to talk, sorry.
He's ill, people.
I'm ill as a hell. Like literally, I said this before. I literally got out of bed for the first time like an hour before we started recording. I
Send
literally,
Neon all your positive energy
I
in
know,
the
right?
comments.
I need a spirit bomb. But yeah. So like, someone requested this on a live stream about what, like 2 weeks ago now, since we recorded this, and I just thought the song was amazing. It's a pretty old one, by Yorushika. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. But it was amazing. It's everything that I love about Japanese music all rolled into one. It's energetic, creatively awesome, frantic. It's got the one thing Howard absolutely loves, a bass line that's completely fucking different from the rest of the song. It's got everything in there. The vocals are smooth, bubbly, yet
I would
emotion
say it's
well.
missing one thing.
Moa.
Screams.
Not screams, but it's not heavy.
I think
I like how that's a
how is that a bad thing? Like I picked this on
It's not a bad thing, but you said it has everything in it, and that's not true.
everything
But then
for
that's
a
like-
pop song. I said,
yeah, it's like saying
Everything
a
that you
heavy
love, you said.
so yeah. Well, I'm a very dramatic, dynamic person. I love multiple things.
I love this. I love this. This is great. Keep the competition up. Sorry, just
But
have everything.
that's it.
Have the sounds of cats in
I've
it.
got to win some points back next week. I'm gonna go for a full metal song.
So I'm going to get earplugs for whatever you suggest next week because it's going to be serious
Yeah.
compensation, I think.
The vocals are gonna sound worse than my cough.
Broken by the screen then. Anyway,
No, that was too blatantly obvious. But yeah, it was everything that I really, really love. And for me, it's a testament of why I can really, really get into Japanese pop and never Western pop, because let's be honest, this just shits all over it. In every possible way, apart from being heavy, Benedict. It really is. It's just great, and I love the tempo of this song as well. The song structure of it is incredible for a song that's like 4 minutes long. It slows down, it speeds up. It's got those beautiful breaks, and then the interlude about 2/3 of the way through the song as well. It's absolutely great. And like I said before, the bass slaps, man. The bass goes hard on this, and I fucking love it. Maybe not hard enough for Benedict, but it
Doesn't have to be.
it still slaps, and I love it, and it's everything good about Japanese culture, I think, and Japanese songwriting as a whole. It's a pretty old song. I think it came out like 4 years ago, but yeah, no, I heard it for the first time like 2 weeks ago, and I was blown away by it. And it's just one of those songs that it gets better every time you listen to it, I think. I appreciate it a lot more every time I listen to it.
I was really surprised when I first pressed play, because although I know you've got a wide taste in music, I wasn't expecting something that delicate. And then I was even more surprised.
It's not just me, you see.
Hey, I didn't say it was a problem.
I didn't say either.
We need to stereotype what Benedict said. Really get him in the. So we're always the ones who people hate. We need to make people hate Benedict more.
Way too nice for that.
Get a little halo above him next time he comes on. But yeah, so I was kind of like intrigued by how delicate it was. But moreover, at the end of the song, it's one of those ones where it doesn't hit you with like, there's not immediately like, oh, this is going to be something special. It's just, it kind of washes over you. And by the end, you're just so taken by how engaging the sound is. It's got that one thing that I often say I really like, which is with these kind of delicate songs, when it sounds tangible, like every instrument feels like it's recorded. So you can hear every hit of the drum beat, like it's right in front of you. You can hear the piano, the guitar, everything, you can feel it. It feels like mechanical. And I mean that, you know, not in a sort of a cold way, but you can feel like the instruments moving and breathing. It was just, yeah, there was so much like heart and reality to the song. If you know what I mean, it felt very personal. And on top of that, you know, beautiful melody, nicely arranged, not too much, but everything just fitted together. It just felt like something that had layers, and your ears were just being washed in this beautiful sound over and over. So yeah, I just thought sonically gorgeous, combined with a really nicely written song, really nice melody. I'd never heard this song before. I don't even think I was aware of the artist, but by the end, oh, yeah, this is great.
I've heard a few songs now from the artist since I listened to this one, and some of the other ones are really, really great, which is really weird because I like you never heard of Yorushika up until this point, so I came to this completely blind. But they've been around for like 4 or 5 years now, and I mean I'm on the song now. If I just bring up Google quick, I mean this song's got 18 million views, which considering
deserves it.
We've never heard the artist before, for a relatively unknown artist that, let's be honest, me and Howard, between us, have got 10 years on YouTube of dealing with requests and bands and stuff. To both of us never come across this before.
Let's be honest,
shocking.
We probably both have, but we probably have both forgotten because there's been enough songs at this point.
Band names I definitely forget, but the actual songs itself, like I forget the names of songs, but if you play a song and it's on for like 10 seconds, I'll know it.
But I mean, we've probably heard a different song by the same artist. That at least seems to be a high percentage of chance. So I'm just being careful before someone jumps out of my audience and goes, "Howard, you don't remember when I suggested this?" I don't. I'm sorry. So let's get the opinion of the hater. Sorry,
Yeah, well, I kind of agree with Howard. I had the same experience that when it started out, I was like, yeah, it's not like super exciting from the get-go, but it slowly won me over through, almost everything that Howard said, like the beautiful melody. And what I found very interesting about the song, to me, because I also read the lyrics and kind of tried to get like the meaning or the feeling of the song, and it's actually a really sad song, and it's kind of that thing we talked about where it doesn't really sound sad, kind of sounds like you are more uplifting Japanese style, but actually reading the lyrics and like there's a hole in my heart and it's growing and it's just me and my hole, and pretty depressing stuff.
The video was a great example of that as well, wasn't it? Because the video was really good and was a great example of what you were saying about you can do a video with virtually no money. That was
that's kind of true. Yeah, because the video, it was also kind of unnerving because it always the face was always covered. It's kind of creepy in a way.
Well, it's a metaphor, isn't it, for hiding behind a mask? Like
probably, yeah.
I'm actually going to have one thing because I don't know this for certain, but this was my impression when I saw that, because obviously you've got the mannequin, there's like the hole in the middle, which is very clear metaphor. But the face thing kind of reminded me that, and this
Didn't have
this might
Gathering
not be.
Spin also in the replica video, a mannequin with
Yes.
a hole in the chest?
Yes, but the face thing was what I kind of wanted to focus on, because the reason being, when you look at the I think it's Shinto, I'm pretty certain it's Shinto, with the old Shinto traditions, when they have the shrine that they move around, supposedly it has the kami inside, and of course the traditions slightly vary between different places, but often the kami, like the god, the spirit, whatever you want to call it, is represented by a small mirror, and in a lot of them. This doesn't seem to be consistent, but in a lot of the places, they only transport it in the dark. So you're not allowed to see the mirror, because the mirror represents the face of the kami. Again, there might be details that I'm not quite getting 100%. So and I know it differs between shrines. So please, if someone has other details given to me, but I know that's definitely true for a certain subset of shrines that I've spoken to people around. So I felt that there was actually a little bit of Shinto tradition in there. Now, the thing on the face didn't appear to actually be a mirror, but it was made to look like a mirror. So I got that vibe from it. So that was just an extra level that would certainly occurred to me when I was watching it, whether it be true or not. But I thought that was an interesting sideline that I wanted to mention, because yeah, beautiful song, beautiful video. I mean, the whole thing was just really a
See, that's
pleasure.
something I'd love to learn more about, because when it comes to like the lore of like shrines and stuff like that, I'm a relative new when it comes to all that, so I definitely need to dive into that and learn a little bit more on that.
To be honest, I think even though I'm quite interested by them, I'm pretty sure my knowledge covers less than 50% of what there is to know. So yeah, I think we will have a lot. But yeah, it's that was a really interesting thing I found out, and immediately when I saw the video, it made me think of that. So whether that's what they were going for or not, I don't know. But it just seemed like an interesting comparison to bring up.
Just want to say about because I also agree with Neon that I think it's because he said it's like everything he loves about Japanese music, and I also felt it's would be a really good example to show someone they don't know Japanese music. You could show them this song, and yeah, I think there's pretty high success rate that they will like it, because it's it's really good, but it's also not too over the top, and I think that could work pretty well.
Too heavy.
I think it's no, just go for Hanabiya. I think it's one of those songs where it would work if you knew the person was actually someone who genuinely liked music and didn't care about catchy choruses and was going to listen to the end. If it was that kind of person, then and you could remove a lot of the stereotypical impressions they might have
of the
sort of
it's
AKB
a song
Japanese
that
music.
Would work for a pop fan and a rock fan and maybe even a metal fan, because the music itself is just good enough.
Yeah. And it's got a nice structure to it as well. Again, like Neon was saying, it's not excessively complicated, but the writing is there. It's got musicianship, it's got writing, it's got performance, it's got a nice packaging, it's well mixed, well produced, good video.
It builds up really nicely. Like I said, the beginning bit, it's definitely a slow one, but it does build up to the point where at the end it is the tempo is there. It is quite quick. And it gets to that point. I feel like without you kind of really knowing about it, it kind of just happens. But by that point, you're completely kind of sucked into what's going on with that song, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, no, that to me that was like a really nice surprise pick. I mean, the funny thing is, obviously, I knew Benedict's one before I even pressed play, because I was like, yeah, I've been listening to that song ad infinitum for the last few days, and I already knew that he picked something that I loved. But and I was really glad you picked that song as well, because I wanted to talk about that. But with your one,
something
Neon,
else in mind, but I will save that for next week.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this feature. This feature's fun because it's not always just songs we like, it's songs we want to talk. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you pick next week. But yeah, with your one, Neon, it completely blindsided me. I did not see that coming, and I fell in love with that song. I've been listening to that to death as well. So that was a fantastic choice.
I think it's a good song that really as well that shows my tastes as well. Like, as much as I go on about that, which is my preferred taste, like my musical taste is very varied. You'll be surprised why what I like. This is probably why I'm so accommodating to most music.
This made me think of a lot of the Lisa songs that you like, actually. I could kind of imagine this with Lisa singing on it. And that was where because again, I didn't expect it when I pressed play, but when I listened to it, I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of got that melodic that sort of heartfelt quality that you'd imagine from like one of Lisa's 10 million anime theme tunes. So I'm pretty sure she has first refusal on every anime. They're like, Lisa, do you want to do this one? Oh, she's busy. All right, let's ask someone else. All right.
I will write down
it's-
Lisa right now because I still haven't checked her out, and Neon is always praising her so much. Really have to check it out.
So
Oh.
I'll send you a few links down below after we finish recording this one, so you can get a reaction done.
You are talking to a proper Lisa fan there, so you're going to get the full bombardment.
The thing with Lisa, like I said with baby metal as well. If you want to get into the with baby metal to appreciate them fully, I feel like you have to go back to Sakura Gakuin as well, like kind of like the early years to get like a full grasp of the emotional weight. And with Lisa, you need to watch like a live performance with her. Like, honest to God, she is a performer. She puts like
Then send me a live performance.
Yeah, she puts everything into a performance. She there's tears, there's energy. Like honestly, I can't tell you how good she is in a live show. She is phenomenal. She's
I
like,
love this dynamic because I've seen this dynamic before. You got the fan who's passionately talking about why you believe me, you're going to love it from the heart, and you got the music lover who's just like, let's talk more play. And this is the
It's like,
perfect
I need to
music fan
hear.
interaction.
yeah, do
This
it
is brilliant.
now.
I love this because this is the quintessential interaction. I love it. But yeah, so what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to move on because I don't know how long we got. I'm going to move on to my pick if I may be so vain as to do so.
Do it.
I'm going to talk this one in first of all because I went a little bit risky here and decided to go for a group who not only are one of the small unsigned bands I work with, they've only got 4 songs total, and I have really fallen in love with this band in that they really caught me by surprise. They write their own songs, they play their own music. They've had 4 songs come out, of which this is the 4th, came out today, the day that I've shared it with you guys, probably a couple of days ago when you're watching this at home. But every song they do is wildly different. The bass player is amazing. The guitarist is really interesting. The singer has got an incredibly interesting voice, although she does an interesting technique on this song that I think we'll probably end up talking about.
Yes.
And the drummer is absolutely brilliant as well. I mean, they are just an all-round brilliant band with really good and really diverse songwriting. And the funny thing is their studio recordings sound kind of like you'd expect from a band who are just recording their first couple of songs. And yet, to me, their writing and talent sounds like a group who are already there. So absolutely in love with it. I mean,
They
if anyone
write
hasn't
that
guessed,
stuff themselves.
yeah, everything, it's all theirs. 100%
Nice.
everything Floor Up is theirs. The group's called Caramel Candid. I would also suggest for anyone who checks them out, check out their lyrics as well. Their lyrics are super interesting. And I did an interview with the lead singer recently, which will be coming out on my channel in a few weeks. But the funny thing is that when I spoke to her, I asked her what's the inspiration for the members, and she was talking about them, and they all have totally different genres of music they're into, and yet they gel them together, which is why their songs are so different. Anyway, the most recent song came out today, so I decided I'll share that one because it's the most recent one, and it would do them a little bit of a favor for us to talk about their most recent song as well. But yeah, rather than just me sitting back and praising and saying how much I love Caramel Candid, I thought I'd put it into the crucible of fire that is Ears to the East. Say nice things or I'll come back to Europe just to beat you. Anyway,
I'm
right,
safe. I'm in England. I know which they put it back here. So,
all right, guys. Anyway, I'll let you guys give your opinions though. So, please.
Do you want to go first, Benedict, or do you want me to go?
I can go
sounded
first.
like an episode.
Yeah, you can go first.
I really agree about the voice. She has a really distinctive voice, and immediately I had to think of that other song I know by them. I don't know the name of it, Buster something. But immediately I had to think like strongly of that Buster song when she in the chorus. Kind of, that's why I was a bit surprised when you said like their songs sound so different, because to me it didn't sound that hugely different from that other song that I know. I'm not sure about the 2 other songs, obviously, that I don't know.
Probably Virus Buster is the most similar one to this, I would agree. However, I would still say was Virus Buster's kind of like an upbeat, tongue-in-cheek, punky song.
Yeah, it's more punky and more energetic, but still I would say in the same feeling. But maybe it's just that's their style.
I would say these 2 songs are the most similar. Definitely, like their first single was like a really sort of heart-wrenching ballad, and then the second song's like a
Okay.
sort of like this, just like a jolly little mid-tempo song.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to listen to the other two songs as well.
I probably misrepresented the songs in a way that's going to get me beaten up by the band. Anyway, but that's how I hear the songs. But
No,
yeah,
but really, I have to say her voice really stands out, or maybe it's just their style. But immediately I had in my head that first song and basta, basta, basta. And that's something that's stuck in my head so much, even though I haven't listened to that song
song's
a lot.
crazy catchy.
And yeah, it's crazy catchy. And yeah,
I must admit, though, one of the people on
think
my channel
yeah.
who has a nice thick English accent thought she was singing bastard, bastard, bastard. And so he was like, bastard, bastard, bastard. I was like, that is a bit more punky. So that's now what I hear. But yeah, I mean, as you can tell from the lyrics, she's a very heartfelt person. They're a very young band. And she certainly sings with like that youthful energy.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's an incredibly like her emotions come out in her voice very strongly, but it doesn't impede her ability to sing, in my opinion. All right, I'm going to pass over to Neon. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
He's gonna murder this one. I'm going to start crying in the
so Caramel Candid is a band I've heard a lot about, obviously through Backer and stuff like that. But this is the first time I've ever had the privilege of listening to them. So this was my first time kind of going through them, and I like them. But I also had issues with them as well.
Okay.
I'm glad you said they self-record it, because the first thing I noticed was the mix was all over the place. Like I was listening to that, I was like, that sounds off. Like you can tell that's like what was it, like back room basement recording, which is nothing. There's nothing wrong with that.
It
But I'm
felt
glad
a bit live, would you say? I mean, my feeling is it felt a bit live, kind of like
yeah, a little bit
unrefined.
Unrefined, I'd say. I can't quite put my finger on what it was, but you just know when you listen to a song that's like recorded well, and when you listen to a song that's not recorded well straight after.
I actually like that rawness, because to me, especially in punk, I always like it when it doesn't sound like too produced. And if there's a little mistake, just leave it in, just gives it a bit of an edge,
Yeah.
It works for me now because they're new, but I agree with like Neon. In the long run, you'd want them
in the long run. That's something that will typically have to be fixed. But I'm glad you said that, because that was one of the things I was going to say. I was going to say the mix sounds a little bit off, but because you said they're self-recorded, I was like, that's why straight away. So I can't really comment on that one. I really, really love the band. I thought they were really, really good. The instruments and all that were really good. I have a slight issue with the lead singer. And that is just because of some of the vocals, some of the long stretches, her voice breaks quite a lot.
Do you mean the squeak? Because the squeak thing was
I'm getting to the squeak, don't worry.
Okay.
For the long bits with the voices, her voice breaks a little bit. I just feel like a slight little bit of auto tune on just those little bits to give it a little bit of a smooth thing would be a little bit better. Because there's nothing wrong with changing the tones, when you're doing those long notes, but they become a little bit glaringly obvious sometimes. And I know some people, that one's purely subjective. Some people really like them, some people don't. I'm like half and half. I just felt like
really want to show you a song.
It was a little bit.
There's a certain Bish song where they emphasize that breaking voice.
Yeah,
just
I feel like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. For this one though, I didn't think it quite worked. And then obviously
as the Caramel Candid defense lawyer, I'm just going to say I think that is partly her style. If you mean like the wavering thing, like the throwing her voice at the part of the song, the squeak thing where her voice actually genuinely broke on certain notes, which I think is what Benedict was referring to by the Bish reference. That I think was much more heavily done in this song than any of their other songs. So I thought this was just very much for that song, and I was wondering whether anyone would pick up on that as being a little bit different. But anyway, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so like I like that style, but it felt a little bit out of place. It felt unintentional. Like there's a difference between being like trying to make that happen and like your voice just breaking because of it, and it felt like the latter rather than the former. I could be wrong on that, I don't know, but it just felt a little bit off. The squeaks. Now I love a good squeak in a song. It's cute, it's nice. Her squeaks are like 15 times more octaves higher than any squeak I've ever heard in my goddamn life. And the amount of times that squeak happened, I was like, fucking shit. When I had my headphones on, I was like, holy crap. Yeah, she's got loud squeaks. Very loud
Didn't
squeaks.
perceive it that extreme, I have to say.
So it's very loud. When I had my headset on, I was like, holy shit. I like squeaks, but that took me out of the song. It didn't actually bring me into the
I'm blaming the EQ of your headphones.
Yeah, it probably is. But the squeak was a little bit, it was an octave too high for me, that the fact that it was like it was borderlining ear piercing compared to like everything else in that song that was going on, and it just took me out slightly instead of throwing me in. Now I really like that, and I feel like this is a more of a, I don't think it's her fault as a singer. I feel like this is more of a mixing problem than her voice problem. So I'll give him a benefit of the doubt.
That means it's Howard's fault.
So yeah, that means it's Howard's fault. So I'm gonna give the band the benefit of the doubt. I feel like again, now knowing that Howard's mixed it, I feel like the mixing could be better.
Oh, I didn't mix. No, I didn't mix it.
Thank fuck for that,
Okay.
because otherwise I would have been digging my own grave. But yeah, I feel like it's more of a mixing problem than a band problem. I feel like if they took that song and got it mixed professionally, I think it would be perfect. But there was just,
as it's 3.5 minutes, I just want to quickly retort to that, because I mean, absolutely appreciate everything you said. In all honesty, I do kind of understand. This is why, one of the reasons why I'm interested to get perspectives. I think maybe actually, now I come to think about it, it probably wasn't the best choice of the first song to introduce you with, because of the fact that maybe it is a bit too middle of the road, and yes, the singing style she uses here is a little bit more stylistic than she
I love
usually
the
does.
song. Don't get this
However,
wrong. I like the song. I just had issues with other
But
things.
I also think you probably like that Buster song more. I do at least.
I would say definitely the two that I would recommend if you want to get an opinion, a view of the diametric opposites of the sound is Virus Buster, and also their first song, 20 Carnations. I think if you listen to those two songs, they're so diametrically opposite. For me, I thought this was a safe middle ground, but now I come to think about it, maybe it was too much of a safe middle ground. But yeah, I appreciate the opinions. I think that in response to what you said about style, I do think it was a stylistic choice on her opinion, which is why I was kind of interested to see what people say, because this is by far the most stylistic delivery I've heard her do in any song. She is a very stylistic singer, but this one there was a lot more of that on there. And definitely the mix is raw, but yeah, for me it worked, but I was listening to it going, this works for me, but I can understand why for some people this might not work. I've heard like Iron of the End songs where I've been like, where her voice is broken too much. I've been like, I don't really like that for that reason. So I was thinking, I can imagine someone giving me the exact same response to this. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to put it out there and just say, because we've only got 2 minutes left and I want to wrap everything up and give everyone else a chance to speak. Yeah, please do check out Caramel Candid. I'll put links to, I'm going to be a dick, and I'm going to put links to several of their songs below, because young new band, help them. Yeah, sorry, I don't care, I'm just doing it, I'm breaking the rules. Hey, Neon broke the rules in the other video, which I haven't posted yet. So
you only picked one member more, Jesus.
Now everyone knows that we record these in the wrong order. They already knew.
Doesn't forget.
The thing is though, honestly, thank you so much if you check them out, support the young bands, and thanks to these guys for taking the time to listen to them as well. Great songs. I loved all 3 of these songs. Obviously I love my one, but you guys picked songs I absolutely adored, so I want to thank you guys, because 3 songs, this might be the only time this happened, 3 songs I adored every single one. We've got 1 minute and 10 seconds left, so any final thoughts you guys want to throw in?
Yeah, Caramel Candid. I'm really interested to listen to their other stuff. Just because, like I said, just because I was so critical on the mix doesn't mean I didn't enjoy the song, which I really did. I thought it was really awesome. Looking forward to listening to more of them. So I'll be the first person to go and check out some more of the links down below. And hopefully you guys
Hopefully all I'm suggesting.
And let us know, which do you like more, DX or Dream Up?
Yeah, that's a really good question as well. I'd love to know what you guys think of Dream Up compared to DX. We got about 40 seconds before this thing cuts us off. So
yeah,
any final thoughts?
Yeah, the links to all the songs will be in the description down below. Make sure you click on them, listen to them, tell us your thoughts in the comments below. Me, Howard, Benedict would be really interested to know what you guys think of that. Don't forget to like, subscribe as well. That would really appreciate it. That helps the channel grow, helps us grow as well, and we can reach more ears to the east. Look at that pun.
Yeah,
that's going.
Remember to keep your ears to the east. Quick, finish now.